let's go. Going to be trying for our next leg of our journey in the in some oh god, words. We're going to be running X-Plane 11. This is going to be the Sumburgh to Vagar run, so this will be Shetlands to the Faroe Islands if you're less familiar with them terms. Just going to fix the title on the stream and get ourselves underway shortly. I managed to fix the visual models last night, so fingers crossed we'll have visual on people in the traffic, which should make my life a little easier. We'll catch you soon. Right, X-Plane is just loading up now. Once the system has loaded and I have myself a cold dead aircraft, I'll get her started up at Sumburgh and then get logged into the network. Shouldn't be too much longer now.
Mixture set to auto. Mixture set to auto rich. Mixture set to auto lean. Mixture set to auto rich.
Sorry, Jules. I've just figured out that my mic is. I've been talking this whole time. So, yes, Scotland Centre is on. I will have to talk to them. I'll need to know if that's 3,000 or 8,000 feet is the transition altitude. I can't remember which. So there'll be a point in time where I have to get on the radio and talk. The much nervousness applies. Right, let's start the right. Why is the left engine not starting? Left engine just goes, doesn't it?
Mixture set to water rich. Mixture set to water rich.
Right, let's take some of the load off of the battery, see if that's what it is. Because apparently my right hand battery is just not doing its job. I'm going to just check the systems inside the aircraft management and just make sure I actually have given myself a fully working jet. Good call with the fire extinguisher, knowing my luck. So let's fix all the systems. Right, so this. I'm going to start with a fully working jet, cause reasons. You do not need to see me watch me fail at trying to start up this thing. I need to find out why that right engine is not starting up for me. Okay. 1 to 2.8 set and Golf Delta Golf Oscar 688 radio check. Huh, okay. I think that was heard. Okay. Alright, so right. Flight plan is filed. Winds are in the southeast, so we'll be taking the runway 15 for takeoff, so it'll be a left taxi and all the way out. There we go. Sumburgh traffic, Golf Delta Golf 688, taxiing for the active runway 15.
Water rich.
Thanks, First Officer. Looks like we do need a bit of carb heat just to get this thing on the go. Domestus, I hope you can hear me on the radio. You can't. Well, that makes my life very interesting. On 122.8? Am I on the wrong channel? Radio check. I'm not on Scottish control, that's why. So I have to be on Scottish control even on the ground. That's interesting. Aha, that makes more sense now. Scottish control, Golf Delta Golf 688, Sumburgh radio check.
Golf Delta Golf 688, Scottish, loud and clear.
Scottish control, Golf Delta Golf 688, clearance to depart Sumburgh airfield to Vagar as filed.
Golf Delta Golf 688, stand by please. Okay, 171 Golf Alpha. Ryanair 2 Golf Alpha, welcome, taxi to gate, bye bye. United Nations 7903 Scottish.
United Nations 793, go ahead.
United Nations 793 cleared to destination Remy Nana Vector 2. Vector 2 Sierra, Uniform Mike, maintain 8,000 feet, squawk 6231.
Maintain 8,000 feet, squawk, I missed the squawk, say again, sorry.
Squawk 6231.
Squawk 6231, United Nations 793.
United Nations 793, little back, QNH 1033.
So Scottish control is elected to do ground control, taxiing and airspace management for the entirety of Scotland. What a brave man. I'll just...
Golf Delta Golf 688 Scottish.
Scottish, go for Golf Delta Golf 688.
Golf Delta Golf 688, clear to Echo Kilo Victor Golf, runway 9 Vector to Sierra, Uniform Mike, maintain 10,000, followed by 100, squawk 6233.
6233 for Golf Delta Golf 688, thank you.
688, reverse correct, QNH 1033, report when ready.
We'll report when ready, Golf Delta Golf 688. . Scottish Central Golf Delta Golf 688 ready to taxi 09 as previous.
Golf Delta Golf 688, taxi to holding point, London 090, for runway ready for departure.
Holding runway 09 for departure, Golf Delta Golf 688.
Golf Delta Golf 688, call when you're ready for departure.
Scottish Control, United Nations 793, ready for taxi.
19 National 790, Scottish taxi to holding point 090, report when ready.
Continue to holding point 09 and report when ready, United Nations 793.
It helps if you kind of have an idea what you're expecting, Jules, but he is talking rather quickly. Some of it is just getting used to hearing the calls. You can just sit on in a busy airport and listen to the calls for an hour or two as you get familiar. My call sign is Golf Delta Golf 688, Ghost Dog 688, because you know I'm stupid like that. Looks like they've asked us to use runway 9, which is an interesting choice given that runway 9 is closed in Sumburgh for real, but we'll find our way there. Oh, if there's a pothole, I'll find it, don't worry. It's just the way I roll. Oh dear. Here's Domestus. I bet I'm going the toll wrong. Yep, totally flubbed the taxi. Going the wrong way. How to get lost and not follow instructions, the Ghost Dog way. Yes, that wandering ball of text is Domestus promised. Unfortunately, he's not showing up on my screen, but I suspect that's because I have not downloaded the correct file for his aircraft. I really hope there's a taxiway down here to take me to runway 9. Doesn't look like it, does it? Yes, Domestus, I've managed to make a tat of myself. I'm going to have to turn this aircraft around. Yep, going the other way. Fortunately, I am getting very much a good bit of practice for this aircraft at taxiing. It does help that I'm cheating and using the external mode. We're going to pretend that this is me having a flight crew, a ground control guy waving me around. Domestus, just out of interest, can you actually see my aircraft on the runway? On the taxiway? Try and give you a bit of a wide berth.
Scottish Control, this is Alliance 1134 at Wales, you copy? And back to 1134 Scottish, correct?
Yes, good morning. This is Alliance 1134. We're a beach King Air at Carlisle and we've got a VFR flight plan direct to Prestwick. Now, should I contact you when I'm in the air with a request flight following?
1134 Scottish, yes you can. Able.
Roger, you wish me to request flight following when I'm airborne, is that correct?
Oh, never change. Never ever change.
1134, did you get the faithful clearance or other request?
So, good news, Domestos. I know how to fix that. I'll talk to you after the stream.
Yeah, no worries. Runway 9 is to your right. Behind.
Yes,
Okay.
I was being a tat and not following the right way. Because directions are fun, and I really would have preferred runway 15, but I can make runway 9 work. It's fine. Hello, Jules. Okay. Oop. Ah, now I get to manage a Discord stream and live stream and chat.
I can stop streaming if
It's not a pain in the arse now. It's actually quite hilarious. I've stopped watching your live feed anyway. I'm just.
Scottish Control, this is Alliance 1134, a beach 190 King Air at Carlisle. We're requesting VFR clearance to Prestwick direct as filed.
Direct has filed. This guy's new.
Okay, 1134 Scottish, roger. Scope 0005, before I'm ready, reaching runway with your pre-park.
Was that 0004?
Yeah, Squawk 0005 and reach runway with your pre-park for the departure.
Roger, 0005 and hold at departure at runway. This is Alliance 1134.
Well, he wants me to join taxiway runway 9,
Radio
so
cutting runway 24 for the
that means I
departure.
have to cross this runway. Brilliant.
Hold at runway 24, Alliance 1134.
Roger, 1134, no weather information, report when ready.
Roger, I'll report when ready for departure at runway 24, Alliance 1134.
Come on, get off the muck. I may. What's going on in front of me? Chaos. There's a glitch with the CSL files that Domestos has downloaded, in that they are set up for a different sim. There is a fix for it, which lowers everyone or raises everyone a little bit, but I suspect he's not installed that. Not that I can say anything, because I can't see his aircraft at all. Although I'm wondering if that's because he hasn't in his flight plan. Yes, that's why I'm in a right giant red and white plane. There's a set of files called CSL files, which are basically just scenery aircraft. And what his file is currently trying to do is it's trying to say, well, I don't have a DC-3, how about this aircraft instead? But the positioning is wrong as well. There is a bug fix for that, which I think I can send him, but we can fix that after the stream, because when we're in the air, a difference of 10 feet is not going to matter. Right, this should be runway 09.
Actually, I think it's. I did install these offsets last night, so I think I'm good.
Oh, okay. Not really sure what that is.
I'm not even showing you on the runway.
I'm on runway 09 now. My horizontal position is fine. It's just my vertical position that's the problem. Scottish Central, Golf Delta Golf 688, ready to take off runway 09.
Golf Delta Golf 688, Scott Motor Charlie.
Scottish Control, good morning. Speedbird 7601, flight level 380 inbound T-Bahn.
Speedbird 761 Scottish, good morning. Squawk 5611, ident.
Squawking 5611 at ident, Speedbird 761.
Scottish Control, Golf Delta Golf 688, squawking 6233.
Yeah, Golf Delta Golf 688, wind 2, kitchen 030 degrees 6 knots, runway 09, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, Golf Delta Golf 688, thank you.
Speedbird
Scottish Control, United Nations 793, ready for takeoff, Sumburgh.
0.
I think you got stepped on there, Domestis.
Scottish Control, United Nations 793, ready for takeoff at Sumburgh.
Kitchen Lana Mail 109.
Line up and wait, runway 09, United Nations 793.
The short field performance on this aircraft is ridiculous.
Scottish Control, Monarch 4, Charlie Delta, with you passing 3,500 for 6,000 out of Edinburgh.
One chat. 4 Charlie Delta Scottish identify, climb now for level 3, climb now for level 330 initially.
Climb now, flight level 330 for Monarch 4, Charlie Delta, many thanks.
Alright, so
Golf Delta Golf 688, Lipolio altitude.
Golf Delta Golf 68 for Scottish Control, passing 400 feet.
Golf Delta Golf 688 Scottish identify, fly heading 035, climb to level 100.
Climb for 100, heading 035, thank you.
United National 793, surface wind 060 degrees 6 knots, runway 09, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, copy the wind, United Nations 793.
So yes, because I have oxygen built on board now, I can travel at 10,000 feet.
Scottish Ryanair 213.
This takes care of a large problem of mine last year when I was doing the flight plan and having to hide under 10,000 feet. Otherwise my pilot would pass out. Awkward moment achieved. Oil pressures are good.
Golf Delta Golf 688, turn left heading 305.
Mixture set to auto lead.
Scottish Control 688 following 035.
Heading 305, turn left heading 305.
688 turning for 335, thank you. Correction, 305.
Scottish Ryanair 213.
Ryanair 213, Scottish Special.
I'm really sure I read back 035 the first time.
213 Scottish Control, please send your flight plan.
It's okay, it's clear this guy's English isn't his first language, and that's totally fine.
Golf Delta Golf 688, left turn direct 0, uniform Mike.
Scottish Control, say that again for 688.
Golf Delta Golf 688, left turn direct 0, uniform Mike.
Left turn direct, thank you.
Canadian National 798 Scottish passing altitude.
Scottish Control, passing altitude 1,500, United Nations 793.
Canadian National 798 Scottish identifying, turn left heading 015, climb 8,000 feet. Climb for about 8
Left heading 015, climb 8,000, United Nations 793.
Canadian National 793, climb for about 80, sorry.
Climb flight level 80, United Nations 793.
He's quite happy to give all the instructions at once, isn't he?
Ryanair 213, cleared to Manchester, runway 25, radar vector departure, maintain flight level 230, squawk 5416.
Please Manchester, runway 25, it's vector departure.
What have you got as a flight level?
10,000 feet.
Ryanair 213, repeat correct, NH1.
I think you've been assigned 8,000 if I remember rightly, or you've requested that.
Yeah, that's what I put in my
That's
flight
good,
plan.
we'll have a good separation, that's fine.
260 kilos, Scottish.
So he's flying you back to
Yeah, I see what he's doing now, yeah.
That's your message.
Request IFR to Edinburgh on the ground at correct please.
And then from there it'll be a heading of 310 on my bug. Yeah, I get it now.
You could ask him just to join the outbound radial, see what he says.
Shuttle 23 kilo, Scottish, stand by,
I'm
please.
quite happy to follow this for the moment because it's given me time to climb and it's given me to trim. I'm only at 1.5 miles out anyway. I'm already at 5,000 feet, so that's fine.
Scottish, good morning. It's Ryanair 25 November Bravo, on stand 28 for the clearance to Manchester. Ryanair 28 November Bravo, hello, clear to Manchester, runway 03,
Okay, that's me passing the VAR.
Runway 25, radar vector departure, flight level 250, squawk 4377.
Don't forget your altimeter when you pass.
Clear to Manchester,
Yes,
runway
I'll switch it to 29 or 9 or 2.
departure, flight level 250 and squawk 4377 for Ryanair 25 November Bravo. Ryanair 25 November Bravo, repeat correct, NH1026, report when ready. 1026 for report when ready, Ryanair 25 November Bravo.
Easy 581 kilo out of Edinburgh 06 at flight level 05 406.
Easy 51 kilo, Scottish identified, climb down flight level 370.
Climb flight level 370, easy 581 kilo.
Ryan 2 cushion, right, shuttle 23 kilo, Scottish. Shuttle 23 kilo, go ahead. Shuttle 23 kilo, cleared to Edmonton, runway.
I'm just going to start turning for my destination because there's no way I'm going to get a word in edgeways otherwise, and I'll be at fucking Orkney Islands before I get a chance.
Runway 03, flight level 70, radar departure, squawk 5015.
I've got my head on a swivel for traffic. Oh, that'll see me.
Shuttle 23 kilo, little bit
Apparently we are unable to 370 and only capable of doing 330.
8581 kilo, Roger, climb flight level 330.
330, easy 581 kilo.
Scottish Central 688 turned to heading 310 to resume my own flight plan, if that's okay.
Golf Delta Golf 688, roger, regional navigation.
Resume on navigation 688, thank you.
Scottish Control, good morning. KLM 1260 passing.
Yeah, he's going to be too busy moving the big zoomies around right now, so I'm just going to stay out of his way.
KLM 1260, Scottish identify, climb now for level 290.
Climb to flight level 290, KLM 1260.
United National 793, fly heading 260.
Fly heading 260, United Nations 793.
One chat for Charlie Delta, climb for level 350.
Monarch 4 Charlie Delta up to 350.
I'm actually really looking forward to the approach at Vagar, because apparently it's very hilly and mountainous. It should be quite a fun little challenge.
Yes, I must dig out the charts.
I have them. I have the official ones from from Denmark if you want. They're published in English.
Yeah, okay. Ready.
I'm not going to be able to send them via Discord because it's a 200 meg PDF, but I'll get the link to you once I'm stable and at 10,000 feet. Okay.
Yeah. No problems.
If that's not going to work for you, let me know and I'll just send you a screenshot of the relevant plate.
That's right, I'll just keep it.
Yeah, that'll work.
See, I'm not fussed.
I only have the plates handy because just on the off chance that someone from Vagar decides to control the airspace and starts asking us all to fly plates, because that's going to look really bad if we don't.
Pioneer 213 now, Scottish close, more to Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
If we can move here, Pioneer 213.
Speedbird 761, Scottish.
Speedbird 761.
Speedbird 761 now, Scottish close, Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
Let's start.
Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
Just
Easy 581 kilo, left under Tango Lima Alpha, going to Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
Left turn after Tango Lima Alpha and continue on Unicom thereafter 1228. ECU 551 kilo.
Calaman 1260, going to Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
122 decimal 8, bye bye. KLM 1260.
Scottish Alliance 1134 ready for departure, Kalaya runway 24.
oh, that's what it sounds like to be stepped on. Ow!
134, going to Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
Roger, monitor Unicom 122 decimal 8,
No,
bye.
fuck this. I'm turning that down.
174, Charlie Delta, going to Unicom 122 decimal 8,
Oh,
bye
no
bye.
wonder I've got the output volume turned up way too high.
for Monarch 4 Charlie Delta, bye bye.
Speedbird 80 kilo Alpha now, Scottish close, going to Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
122 decimal 8,
Golf Delta Golf 688, Scottish close, Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
Thank you for the work, and 122.8, thank you.
United National 793, Unicom 122 decimal 8, bye bye.
122 decimal 8, thanks for the ATC. Good night. United Nations 793.
Right. Good.
Yeah, he either got overwhelmed, got kicked off, or just ran out of time. Either way, no. Either way, I don't blame him. That was a lot of work. It was starting to pick up for. It's like, oh, I'll just pick it up while it's quiet, first thing in the morning, you know, not realizing that everybody wants to get up some for a morning's flying.
I'm going to file 10,000, I think, just to make life easy.
I'll just make sure that your cabin is pressurized, or that you've disabled hypoxia effect inside the X-plane. Otherwise, you could well find yourself passing out,
Yeah.
and that would be embarrassing. Right, altimeter 2, 10,000 feet.
Good spot.
Oh, I've learned that the hard way already. Don't worry.
Right, so now, where am I?
I need to get myself back on course while I still have coverage of this radio because after this I've got to hope that I bump into an NTB on the Faroe Islands.
He's put me on a heading to intercept the outbound radio from Sumburgh.
Oh, that was nice of him.
Just until I get there. It's going to be about a week. Okay.
Well, that's my plan basically. Is I'm following a back course on the Sumburgh VOR until I lose signal with it, and then I'm just going to keep flying that heading until I find the NDB.
Okay.
That should give me a good. I may have only. That means I'm only going to be absent navigation for maybe 10-20 miles, and that should only. And I'm not going to deviate from course that much in 10-20 miles. I would hope.
I can give you the winds at 10,000.
I'll take them in a moment, but
Yeah.
I don't think I'm really working with them at the moment. I just need to get myself back below. I'm back onto 10,000 because I'm starting to. I'm at 10.5. Get this plane trimmed out properly and get myself on the radio would be a nicer start, I think. I'm actually going to come right a little and more aggressively intercept this radio because otherwise I'll be there forever.
Okay.
And
What's your DMA from Sumburgh?
Sumburgh, I'm 20 miles from Sumburgh.
Oh.
Yeah, this DC3 hauls. I mean, it goes fast. I'm at 200 miles per hour indicated. Yes, miles per hour because these are really old fucking gauges. Not knots. I did not misspeak. No. I'm going to be slowing down. That was me at cruise. That was me at climbing speed. I'm going to bring myself down to cruise.
I thought DC10, DC3 cruised at about 150.
Yeah, I'm going way faster than I should be. Yeah, with the way they model the damage on this is that's not the smartest play. But I'm gonna bring the propellers down to 20,000 RPM at the moment. Should take the workload off a bit. Then I have to retrim the aircraft. Fucking again. It's a handful to fly at times. Sort the rudder trim for the new propeller torque. There we go, and leveling off.
Right, I'm joining the outbound radio now at 13 miles from Sumburgh.
Okay.
Should be able to listen to this, shouldn't I?
Go and settled at 10,000 ish. Wait for everything to settle down a bit. That's the needle starting to settle onto the radial now, so we're going to do a slight left turn. And oh, stop with the climb rate. This aircraft likes to fly in everything except a straight line when it comes to vertical speed.
Right. Well. Just settle down here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice airplane. I might turn the heating up.
I'll turn my oxygen on actually, that'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? If I fly at higher altitudes, I have to start turning the supercharger into a higher gear, which is hilarious. I'm not sure if I think it's above 12,000 feet, so I'm not messing with that right now, because the last time I messed with the engines they both exploded, so that's not a game I fancy playing. Alright. I can actually take my hands off the stick for more than 3 milliseconds. Here we go. Alright, let's bring the cowl flaps in a bit before we cool the engine too much. And that'll probably involve me retrimming the aircraft once again, because I'll have changed the aerodynamics. Oh, not too bad actually. Something approaching stability. Oh, there we go. I've got to say this is a very strange experience going out and not having an NDB to tune into on the other side. I will pre-set it though, it's 337, also I'll set that onto ADF2. There. I'll see the needles twitch when it's time. The thing is, this thing has a ridiculous descent glide ratio, so I'll have to begin my descent at some sort of really stupid time. Like, I'll probably be beginning my descent as soon as I pick up the NDB beacon. sounds about right for me.
Vagar.
That sounds like a plan. I unfortunately don't have an autopilot, so I'm stuck here for the while. I mean, it's fairly well trimmed. I can probably make a quick nip out to coffee and things like that, but it's not the most entertaining thing for the streamers to watch everyone watch this plane fly itself into the ground while I'm not paying attention. Oh, there's an oil rig down there. That's got to be scenery that's been planted in by X-Plane. There's no way that's a real place. That's got to be randomly generated, which means the odds that you see it would be slim and none. There's meant to also be a little frigate out here as well, like a navy aircraft, navy vessel, but I don't see that either. Unless it's behind these clouds. Oh, it is actually. A couple of sailing ships this far out? That's brave. See, the wind at 12,000 feet according to X-Plane are 137 degrees for 8 knots. Does that sound fairly close?
Sorry,
Winds on X-Plane to say that at 12,000 feet it's 137 degrees at 8 knots. Would you say that's somewhere approaching correct?
Winds at
12. Well, the winds at 12,000 is the map.
Right, yeah. I've got 10,000. It's 135.
That sounds about right then, actually. I can live with that.
14,000 is 114.12.
Oh, excuse me. Right, there we go. Interesting. Oh, that sounds about right then.
I can read. What's that say? 25 division.
See, when this mad lad finally figures out how to make the old-fashioned autopilot work properly, I'll be very happy. You can get pitch and elevation, but you can't get the gyro to do it, for reasons I don't understand. Supposedly there is an autopilot of sorts here. I'll need to fix it, probably.
Table
Oh Jesus! I did the whole takeoff with the lock with an unlocked tail wheel. That was dumb. That could have gone spectacularly awfully.
Actually, there should be a pitch autopilot.
There's a pit. Yeah, it's a pitch and roll autopilot, so I can keep myself level. I just have to. It just doesn't pay attention to airspeed, and it does not pay attention to rudder. So if the wind blows me about, I'll have to correct it.
Yeah. That's why you need your E6B, so you can just set heading into.
Oh yes, I would love to have one of them.
Just use a pretend on the
I could probably use a pretend one as well, but I'm more interested in following this radial, to be honest, than anything else.
Yeah, it's really hard. I've just like set my GPS, you know, started working. Yeah.
You and your computers.
Yeah.
Ruining a perfectly good DC3 with computers. No.
I quite like the look of that DC3. There's the other one.
There's a harder one and an easier one. So there's a freeware one which is easy, relatively, because it's got things like it's got a little autopilot built into it and stuff like that. And there's an even harder, more expensive one which I do not own.
Is it hard? It's got crap instrument panel though. It just doesn't look like a DC3.
Yeah, they've like modernized it or some shit.
That one looks nice. Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
I think if I wanted a DC3, I'd expect to have things like fumes in the cockpit and that oily smell. Like the old VW.
I was gonna say, just open up a can of WD-40 and throw it around the house a bit. It'll be fine.
That's why I'm picking up a little bit of speed now. I managed to figure out my mixture settings.
Yeah. Actually, I'm set to auto lean, haven't I? Yes, I am. That's fine.
Actually, we could get EGT in the data display. So, data frame rate times spots.
Ah. Crap. So the elevation is broken. Sorry, the elevating's working, but the aileron part of the autopilot is broken. It's not working. It doesn't elevate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't turn left or right with the autopilot. It does nothing. It just looks cute. It sorts out my elevation at least, so I can keep the aircraft centrally trimmed.
Don't you use the rudder one to turn? I thought it was counterintuitive. Does that not make you have a turn?
No, they're just indicators. Yeah, the rudder has never worked. The aileron used to turn the aircraft one way or the other, but it doesn't do that now either. So I basically trim the aircraft, and all it's doing is elevation for me.
Sure, you've got your servo switch.
Yes. In the on position.
Autopilot. Distant getting aviation to autopilot.
Turned it off and turned it back on again. Let's see what it does. But yep. Yeah, I'm going to be doing the aileron and the rudder myself, but I mean it's taking care of the elevation at least for me. So I've got that going for me, which is nice. At this rate, mate, I think you're going to catch up with me.
Reckon.
Oh, right.
Oh,
Yeah, I was going to say, you'll be in knots. I'm in an old-fashioned aircraft with miles per hour indicated.
both. I just have to look carefully.
Let me do the conversion.
160.
Tell you what, I'm just going to go on 160 miles an hour. Well, I'm at 170 according to the... I'm at 175 miles per hour, which means I'm fairly certain you're actually going faster than me. Yeah, you're 172 on this app that I've got, and I'm at 185, so I'm actually going slightly faster than you. That's fine though. I'd rather that than the alternative, which is you overtaking me, which would not be potentially the smartest idea when neither of us really wants to get off the radio.
Yeah.
Move over. No, 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 you move over. 2 engines good. How is that, Comanche? How is your what's your Comanche like? Going to jump on.
It's a bit slower than I thought it was.
That's it.
I just like it.
It's the
When I broke my neck, I got flown back in a cruise.
that makes sense now.
That's why I like it. Although I couldn't sit up to watch my instruments, we tried.
No, I was going to say, try not to move your neck when you've broken it, mate.
Yeah, nasty nerves made me laugh.
Oh, nice. Just looking it up on Wikipedia, that's a nice looking aircraft. That'll gad about.
Yeah.
I just love the fact that I not only have an oxygen system in this aircraft, but it actually has sounds. That's just... It's the level of attention to detail this guy at Veek Skylabs puts in that I love. And the oxygen amount is actually decreasing. So it is actually a limited amount of oxygen as well. He's a nutter. He's an utter nutter. Alright. The hell is CZQX and why are you on the net?
What map are you using to see the traffic?
What map?
Well, yeah, you just said you...
I just used the...
Can you see that?
I can see VATSIM traffic on the X-Plane map. Yeah.
Okay.
I can see you behind me, and I can see a Scandinavian airline to our north, like several miles away.
Oh yes, there you are.
And if I actually correctly had a Comanche in the CSL pack, I'd see you as well, but I didn't.
Yeah. So have you put your code in?
I have, yeah.
Because
I noticed you hadn't put your code in at all, which is why originally it was causing me a problem. Well, that's how it showed up originally. Maybe it may have updated now, in which case I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a DC3, and I've said /I at the end to say that I've only got radio instruments only. I'm not using GPS. You're now marked as a PA30, so there's a very good chance that you'll actually show up properly on the system now.
Yeah.
We shall see.
I'm pretty sure I installed the offsets. I was surprised. Yeah, because it should be my problem if you're not at the right height.
Yeah, it would be. Either that or I installed the offsets and you've gone...
Oh, I know why.
Say again?
You're showing up as a Russian.
Yeah, I noticed that.
And I've got a pack of Russian CSL models, but they didn't have the offsets.
Ah, there you go.
So I think Yeah, but
So
if you,
it sounds to me you've only installed the Russian aircraft, so it's trying to find the next nearest match, and it's not installed the offsets.
well, no, I've got all the Airbuses and Boeings. I'll have to check and see if I've got a DC.
Yeah.
That might be fine.
I would be surprised if you didn't, because I'm sure that I'm using the Bluebell package, and that has all of that.
Yeah.
I was really surprised when I find that there wasn't a Comanche in it, which is why I was like, huh.
Yeah. I discovered that when I alt tab, my screen goes.
Yes, you're also hovering in midair when you do that. Yeah.
Am I?
You're not. You don't move when the game's paused or frozen.
Yeah.
So the guys at VATSIM would probably be like, hey, can you not do that? It's not realistic, my immersion. Get all the neckbeards out.
I know, that is the fun of VATSIM. You can have, like, I bet you any money somebody will pop up on air traffic at Vagar and start running you around in circles when you're on long flight.
Oh, if they pull that, that's fine. I don't mind those. I don't mind those kind of games because at the end of the day, that's part of it. You know, just getting talked around. But if he starts going, have you not got the plates? I'll be like, yes, I do. Do you? Can you calm your ass down? I'm not expecting anyone to guide us at Vagar. We'll probably be left alone to it. But yeah, last night I was testing. I was logging on and off all the time, just testing CSL mods to make sure that they were working as intended. And I finally figured out that it was the problem is that X-Plane, X-Pilot 1.3.3, the alpha version, is the one that's compatible with Vulkan. So if you have Vulkan and you use the beta version of X-Pilot, you will not see anything no matter what you install. Yes, so I installed the alpha version, and all of a sudden, I logged into Manchester Airport last night in the small hours of the morning when there was like 5 or 6 aircraft, and I could see them all. I was like, brilliant, it works.
That's what I did at Gatwick. I didn't realise the meter thing fixed it. Well, didn't fix it because yes, I loaded.
Yeah, I loaded the beta as well. I'm not going to use alpha software unless I have to, but apparently you need to if you want to use Vulkan. If you turn off Vulkan, the beta works just fine. I was convinced that it just wasn't finding the CSL profiles, but apparently not. I'm just left of the radial slightly because I'm off it, so that should get me back onto it. If it does, I don't know how to use it. Sorry.
The real GPS has a database. You can look up the NDP. Do you know what the NDP is?
I do actually. It's 337.
Right.
You also have Vagar at 348 if you end up having to do the opposite approach.
Yeah.
But I'm not too worried about that. I've looked at the forecast, and there's no expectation that this wind is going to change dramatically, so we'll be landing into a headwind, which is the way you want it. To be honest, having looked at the terrain and the plate map for the instrument approach, I'd rather do a runway 12 landing anyway, because you're landing into a bay, whereas with the Vagar you're landing over land between 2 hills. So I'm like, no, thank you. Even if I can see where I'm going, that just sounds scary. Let's get the booster pumps turned off actually. Probably don't need those. That should turn my heat down a bit. Should have turned those off after the ascent was complete, to be honest. Now, I gave myself an extra hour's worth of fuel in reserve for this trip, so I should be fine. That was randomly unexpected. I just pressed Shift F5 for the wrong instead of Shift F6 and got to get the tower. And there's an aircraft. There's a fully loaded Nimitz with A6s and F18s somewhere near my aircraft because that's the nearest airbase. That's nuts. Gracias.
Yeah, I can't out tab and I've got 47 minutes. I might have to go and do something.
It's okay. Yeah.
Tell you what I'll do. I'm going to climb to 10,500 just in case.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go.
Sounds like a plan. I think that this other pilot, the Scandinavian guy, is landing in the Faroe Islands as well. That's fun. He's turned towards it anyway, unless he's completely missing it. Yeah, he's gonna. Yeah, this other guy is the one up ahead. He's landing at Vagar. He's landing in an A320 at Vagar. That is an interesting choice. I mean, I know they just recently extended the runway, so fair enough, it can do it. But how many passengers go to the Faroe Islands, for God's sake? That's pretty funny. Anyway, yes, I'll catch you on the other side if you need to step away for a bit.
Yeah.
Just call back when you're on, and I'll let you know if you missed anything hilarious. Oh, there goes the glide slope. I'm now on my own. Right, I'm just going to follow 310 degrees exact on this. Keep flying that way until I bump into one of the two VO NDBs. It's actually pretty impressive how far away you can get contact still. Okay. So this is probably the first time I've flown completely navless, without any radio navigation for any prolonged period of time in X-Plane 11 with literally no terrain features whatsoever to look at. So I'm really going to have to pay attention on the compass. Okay, so mapping. We're well over halfway there actually, so this isn't going to be too scary. There's no other NDVs around, that's fine. Let's check. Carb temps are a little high, so let's just... Trail is the automatic setting anyways, that's fine. Which fuel is that? Coming up on 60 gallons on the right, another 60 on the left. Hi Nipt, how's it going? Plenty in the auxiliary tanks, so we'll maybe switch over to them for a bit. Ah, apparently it feeds off them automatically. Brilliant. How's it going, next? Welcome to the channel. Currently flying the V-Sky Labs DC-3 in X-Plane 11, and we are flying from the Shetland airfield in Scotland to Vagar in the Faroe Islands. This is the second stage of a round the world trip. In tow behind me I have one of my friends on my channel, Domestus, who's flying a Comanche on the same route. He's AFK at the moment though, so... When's the descent going to start? Not entirely sure. We're at 10,000 feet at the moment, and to be perfectly honest with you, with this aircraft, it likes to stay in the air. However, we're also not using GPS or radio navigations. Hi there, RGN line. I'm flying the DC-3 by V-Sky Labs, but I'm not flying with any GPS. This is radio navigation only. So. Vagar airfield has an NDB, I don't get distance measurements from it. I'm also out of range of the Sumburgh VOR that I just took off from in the Shetlands, so currently I am on zero navigation at the moment. This is me just dead reckoning at the moment. on my last heading that I was supposed to maintain was 310 degrees, so I'm just going to try my best to hold that heading until I find a VOR at the ADF needles that I preset for the air. I've got an idea of how to fly the radio, but I don't get distance measurement equipment. The general rule I'm going to follow is that as soon as I see land and see and I get a twitch for the needle or get a twitch for the needles for the NDB, I'll begin my descent. I have the approach plates on my left hand monitor for Vagar, and it looks to me like they want you to fly at 3,600 feet until you hit the thing. And there's the needle swing for Vagar. There we go. So Vagar is the NDB just to the southeast of the runway. That means I'll very shortly be getting the needles for the one I want, which is the Myganese. I cannot pronounce that to save myself. Which is to the northwest of the airfield. I will be doing a visual landing rather than a radio navigation landing because I only have an NDB and a VOR, and you can't really do precision landings off of an NDB. You can really just use it to follow a bearing. Anyway, that's my plan. Now that I've found the Vagar airfield NDB, I'm going to fly towards that until I find the Myganese NDB, then I will fly towards that. And then if I have to, I'll just do orbits and descend until I get to where I need to go. The DC-3 is very forgiving for landing. Its stall speed is 60 miles per hour indicated. It's pretty generous. I've just realised I knocked my webcam at some point in time, so there we go, much better. There. So how about using my actual big brain and using my OBS to verify that? We're good. Anyway, landing a tail dragger I don't find too much of a difficulty because this thing has stupidly large flaps and lands at and stalls at 60 miles per hour indicated. So you have trouble because of the stopping. It's all about cutting the throttle just as you cross the threshold and just keep the nose high. This also has huge flaps which act as air brakes as well effectively, and fairly decent brakes for a tail dragger. So it's hard to land the aircraft. It is hard to get it down and comfortably on altitude. It's most of the challenge, and this is the fact that the autopilot is not really a thing. I've got an attitude hold, so I can make sure that I don't descend when I don't want to, but that's about it. Right, Ignite. Well, if that's the case, you just need to be more gentle on the brakes. That's the easiest answer I can give you, I'm afraid. Pull the nose up. Even when you're on the ground, just keep the nose high. And let me just fiddle with this, but keep the nose high and try not to and keep the throttle off. Just cut the throttle completely, and you will come down. Hopefully in one piece. But the DC-3 is a nice aircraft to try to land in that respect because it's a thing. Except I prefer, if I had to fly either, I'd fly a Boeing, but I don't like to fly either, to be honest. I like to fly older aircraft like DC-3s, and to be honest, most of my channel is actually flying military aircraft in DCS. This is a little break from the norm. Welcome back to Mistus, and you join us just as I've picked up the NDB needles, which means you won't be far behind me. I picked up the first one for Vagar about a few minutes ago. I haven't picked up the other one for Myganese, or one that we're aiming for, but you shouldn't be far away from it. You probably pick them both up in short order. I'm thinking about beginning my descent at some point in time, but I'd much rather wait until I've at least got the manganese. I could do it outside view? Yes, sure, no problem. Next net. Just let me stabilise the aircraft and get myself back to where I need to be. Let's see. Got a gentle climb going on because I need to get back to 10,000 feet. There we go. And I really do like the detail that this aircraft has gone into it. I can't put other skins on it, but I'm not very into like millions of liveries and skins. I'd like to just fly the aircraft. The sounds are amazing on it. It just sounds great. And yes, I'm at 10,000 feet, so I've had to turn on oxygen, otherwise my pilot will lose consciousness. Hello, Skate. Jules, if you make it, I'll fly it. Let's test your Photoshop skills. I just watch everyone in VATSIM have a complete aneurysm at the weeb. But yeah, that'd be fun. Have you flown the Mad Dog 11? I have not flown it personally. Like I said, most of my experience is this in X-Plane is this DC-3. This is basically the only aircraft I really fly outside of DCS, Digital Combat Simulator, or Falcon BMS on the rare occasions I fly that. Like I say, I have a preference for older aircraft. If I was going to fly, actually, a Mad Dog, an MD-82 or something of that age would be pretty cool. I'd like to see something that uses an inertial navigation system rather than specifically GPS. I would want GPS disabled and just fly like proper like 50s, 60s, 70s routes. I have no idea. I know nothing about what's going on in the community. Why do they autopilot this? They just stop that. And that's the scenery starting to load in for the Faroe Islands. Now it's just stock scenery, I don't have any fancy downloads modelled, so we'll have to have a look at that. Alright, and to turn that towards the correct NDB. Still not picking up the manganese NDB, which is a little distressing. No XNIP, you're not allowed to leave. You have to stay here forever. Just kidding, get yourself going, it's fine. Somebody ban that man. Oh, what is this? Autopilot, fix your shit out. There we go. Right, I'll begin my descent down to 3,000 feet once I pick up the NDB that I want, not the NDB I have right now. Domestus, you appear on the map to have been moving west instead of northwest. Either my X-plane is out, or you have drifted a little. Ah, you rejoined the radio. That's fine. I figured it was something like that. I gathered that, yeah. I thought I'd just keep an eye on you every now and then. I didn't want to use the map until I was on the NDB beacons at least, to simulate the fact that I can't just have automatic GPS inside this aircraft. I'm actually really looking forward to this. Even though it's stock scenery, it still looks very fun. It's going to be a nice little challenge. The NDB for this should be somewhere on this hill at the back, but outside I don't. Is this the Vagar NDB or the MY one? Because I'm not picking up the MY one. Huh. Speak of the devil, there it is. Okay, let's switch out. There. It's the Vagar one that I'm not detecting, that's what it is. It was the MY NDB I was picking up, and not. I thought I was picking up the Vagar one. The Vagar one seems to be off, which is interesting. All right. Let's turn to the correct island at least. That'd be nice. Now this route should actually take us pretty much right over the airfield, so I'll be able to have a little look over it first and figure things out. I have a VFR descent I have a localizer DME plate up at the moment. Which is interesting because apparently this airfield supposedly does not have a localizer. Winds 130 at 5, okay, so it's definitely still a 120 landing. Okay, cool. Unless Vagar is more of an outer marker than anything else. Right, let me find the right plate. And do not want an ILS. Don't need one either. There's the localizer DME. I'll take that plate if I have to, but I'm pretty sure there's another plate that I actually can use. It's RNAV for one-way 2. I don't want that. There's the VFI arrivals. Could use it, I guess. It's for 30. Don't want an RNAV. Why do you give me all these RNAV procedures? Oh yes, it's because I'm stuck in the 60s apparently. But let's see. Oh dear. That's a bit of a trim problem. Right, so I'll just use that localizer DME approach. It's not entirely realistic, but it's the best I've got. NDB by, there we go, found it. So I'm supposed to Oh, okay, I see what they're doing. That's very clever. So I need to pick up for the NDB my approach. I need to actually have the VG one tuned down on the second one as well. Right, so I'm going to fly this heading until I'm at was it 1-4? So 325 is my reciprocal that I need to be flying. Sorry, maths. I'm doing maths. Right, so turn to face. Okay, so I need to turn to face my transmitter. There we go. And descend to, what do they want me to be at? 3,700? Okay. Vagar traffic. Golf Delta Golf 688 descending from 10,000 to 3,700 for the my NDB approach. Right. So we'll do the in range setting. And get the RPMs to 2,000. And we'll allow a descent rate of, let's come down 500. Oh, that's wrong.
Hello?
I can hear you, yes.
Right, well, I am 6 minutes from start.
Okay, yep. I'm descending now. I'm coming down from 10,000 to 3,700 now. What's utterly frightening is I know there's an airfield somewhere in between those two sets of mountains and I still can't see it. This will be fun. I'm probably not actually going to have visual with the airfield until I'm actually turned onto it. That's crazy. And I lost my freaking plates on the plates because I'm a genius. Well, there's the Vagar NDB as well, so this is good. I can make that work. Right, we'll come off oxygen. There's the one I wanted.
Well, I'm looking at your stream.
Yes?
And you just appear to be not descending.
Yeah, I'm descending at 8,000 feet. Apparently I'm descending at 1,000 feet per minute, but the DC-3 does not like to descend. It just takes forever. I should have started my descent ages ago, but I didn't really want to do that until I could actually see the islands.
I don't know how far ahead or behind your stream is. That's the thing. Weird. Something's not right. Are you looking? Because you're looking at the right-hand side of the aircraft.
Let's see where. There is definitely a delay of some description.
I think it's quite significant. Not that it matters, to be honest.
Yeah. Right, I've just quickly momentarily flicked from internal to external view, so we'll see just how much of a delay that is.
Waiting.
This is why I don't normally like display view capture. Game capture does not work. Oh, sorry, I missed all the chat. Xnipped, so explain is the only sim I have. No, I mostly fly DCS, actually. I've started my descent now.
I'm not sure that the stream's actually... I can see your lips moving in your head in your window, but your actual picture of your aircraft, I think...
Oh, bugger. Right, okay, that's fine. Easy fixed. We just... We'll do the old turn it off, turn it back on again routine. Not the stream.
That's more like it.
Okay, there we go. This is one of the things I'm starting to hate very much with the X-Plane, is it doesn't seem to like screen capture software.
It's because it's OpenGL.
The Vulkan stuff, yeah, Vulkan. I'll have to look and see if there's plugins to fix it. But in short, I'm now descending, and yeah, I've switched it to game capture modes, which seems to have fixed it. Query. Beforehand, the game capture guaranteed it to freeze, so display capture's obviously just had enough, packed its shit in and had enough for the day. That's fine. So passing through 6,000 feet for 3,700. That island up ahead is my target. Transition altitude is 7,500 for this place. Actually, that's a good point. What is my altimeter saying? Altimeter 3047 for this area.
Come on.
Thanks, Jules.
A bit ahead of myself, I think. 3047.
Well, according to X-Plane, it is.
Yeah. It's going to be close.
Well, that's the imperial system, of course. I don't know what that is going to be for the metric folks. This old aircraft runs in millimeters of mercury, so sorry, inches of mercury. So people smarter than me can convert that back to you if it did. Or are you running the older system as well? Well, there's the airfield.
Yeah, the older one.
Ooh, there's a noticeable hump on this airfield. It's going to make landing fun. That's one thing I do like about X-Plane, is the airstrips aren't just flat perfectly all the time, they actually match the contours of the ground. going to make this descent a little bit more aggressive, I think. So they want me to descend from 3,700 down to decision altitude, which is 900. Okay, that's fine, I can do that. Okay. Right, there's 4,700, and so from this we take, once we've passed this, we take a heading of 327 for 1 minute, then we turn and intercept at the radial again, 111 degrees, and that should set us up with a nice approach to visual. It's an offset approach, just so you know, Domestis. It's basically they're pointing you down at the middle of down the throat of the two hills, and then by that time you should have visual.
Yeah. I've just printed out.
I heard the printer going. Bzzzt, bzzzt. I thought I heard that. So, just in case you're wondering, I'm using the localizer DME 12 Vagar approach.
Yeah.
So, I know I don't have a DME, but it should get me to the point where I can land visually. Or rather, I do have a DME, but Vagar does not have a DME that works. $3,700 seems awfully close to the top of this mountain, like. But that's what they're asking for, so. There's a bit where someone says, "Yeah, well, you wouldn't fly into the side of a mountain, would you?" Yeah, of course I would.
Stranger things.
Stranger things happened in the last stream. Advance the throttles. Watch them spontaneously explode. Right. Little on the low side, there's 3,500. Should probably bring that up a little. Excellent. Right, we're at 150 miles an hour. And aircraft's trimmed-ish. A little on the low side for this, should be more closer to 3,700, but we'll make it work. About to pass the NDB. Golf Delta Golf 688 for Vagar traffic, passing the my NDB for the locked DME 12 approach. Vagar traffic. Okay, so we turn right, heading 327. Be sure to follow this. Let's get the gear down in a moment. So let's get the approach set up actually. Let's do that first. Okay, much more stable. There we go. 10-15 more seconds on this approach and we'll make the turn. Alright, turn beginning. Yeah, this thing loves to descend on a turn but does not like to descend when you're flying straight and level. It's a weird animal. And it's a heading of 111. HCC, good day, how's it going? As long as you find it with all your wheels intact, that's not a bad start. Alright, and that has worked out rather well. 111 for the NDB. Nice. Well, high, but we can take that out. Right, let's bring the throttle down to descent, which is finals is 20 inches. So as we cross this DME, we should be 111 degrees. There's the needle swing. Outer marker. Golf to Golf 688, outer marker, Vagar traffic. Alright, let's slow her down. Start our descent. Start with 500 feet per minute. I'll probably need more than that. And let's really bring the throttle back because this thing is still not descending and losing altitude at the same time. Losing speed. Make sure on auto rich. Flaps open. Kill flaps open rather. Let's get this aircraft as slow as I can get it. Engines are full rich. Glide slope's looking about right actually. Just need to get the lineup sorted and get the airspeed down. Gear down. That'll put the airspeed a fair bit. Vagar traffic, finals to land, Golf Delta 688, Vagar traffic. Jesus, Demis, this is you're gonna be landing uphill.
Ouch.
This is a fun approach.
I am 1 minute 30-ish out from the...
Well, go ahead and bring yourself in, I'll be down shortly. I'm at the threshold now. And cut the throttle and pull the stick up, hold it up and little bounce, but given that I'm travelling uphill right now, I'm going to take that. Ooh. Right, take the roll out. Alright, Joel, Demesis, I'm down safe, so go ahead and start your run in. I'll be clear the runway.
Like, so I'm gonna have to do the procedure turn now, so I'm not too
Yeah.
much height. Well, not too much. Spec on. Ish. It's supposed to be fun in bad weather.
This particular plate has a big caution saying you do not do this approach during bad weather. There's a totally different approach you're supposed to take apparently. Vagar traffic 688, clear of the active.
Okay, so I'm outbound.
That was actually a really fun approach, that. You can nail it, if you can nail it pretty much dead on. I mean, I was pretty low through most of it, but if you can get it spot on, it's actually quite a fun one to do.
I'm so cheating doing this on the GPS. I feel most guilty.
So yeah, if you just do a standard turn more or less there, Domestis, you will find yourself on a heading of 111 by the time you pass the beacon, and if that's the case, then you're basically lined up for approach. And then basically just as you cross the threshold, and go feet dry, that's when you make your final turn in. You basically cross the middle marker, and then you turn in for 125 for the airport. But you'll be visual about long before then. I'll get the parking brake on. Well, I can see your your label, Nemesis, but not your plane, so that's obviously a problem on my end. I'll fix that later, but...
Yeah.
Either my turn was too tight or yours was too long, but either way you're going to be lined up just fine. Joel says he's a Klingon, he's cloaked. But yes, it's very unsettling, Domestic, that landing, because when you you normally want to pull your nose up to the horizon to obviously start your flare, and you pull your nose up to the horizon and you look down at your nav ball and it's like 10 degrees up. You're like, oh no! It's scary, but it's a fun approach. You'll manage it no problem in your Comanche. That's okay.
Let's try this. Oh.
I tell you what, I've just realised I have to take off at this airfield as well when I do the next leg. Fuck. Actually, I'll move this aircraft a little. It's a bit mental, that approach, Jules. Yeah, it's like
Well, we need some curvage in these
yeah, they're kind of on or off, aren't they?
wheel brakes, I mean.
They're kind of on or off, aren't they? Nicely done.
Yeah.
It has occurred to me I need to get around to getting a model of your Comanche organised for the my CSL files, but
Yeah, I'm thinking I might change to something a little bit faster. I don't know what there is. Oh yes, nice parking, Ghost Dog. Look.
let me guess, I'm flying. I'm sailing in the air.
Yeah.
Come on. Let's have a peek then. And that's the story of how little, and that there is the story of how little planes are built.
What's weird? Yeah, I'm gonna have to have a look and see if I've got a DC-3.
I suspect you probably don't. You've got loads of Russian aircraft, I'm guessing, and it's doing the best
Yeah.
what it has. What's really annoying for me is it doesn't seem to be coming up with anything for me whatsoever on my end.
Yeah.
It just doesn't seem to bother at all, which is really annoying.
You should see the default, shouldn't you? Because isn't there if it can't find anything?
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. But what I'm seeing,
There is check your path, because when I was fiddling last night, they were saying that if your path is not correct to the CSL library, then you will see labels, but you won't see aircraft.
Well, as far as I can tell, that's what I've done, but...
Yeah, there's some, or perhaps there's your unzipping of your Bluebell
Hmm.
folders. Anyway, never mind. I'll show you some. I'll send you some screenshots of what it should
Yeah,
look
absolutely.
like, because that's what apparently happened to some geezer on the internet. It's if you unzip them into the one folder below where they should be.
Yeah, yeah.
You create an extra layer.
Ah, okay.
In fact,
I just have them sitting in the CSL folder altogether, and
can you see that?
just a second. I can if I share your screen again. Let's go. Yeah, that's kind of how I have mine. I'm just going to double check. I do have my slashes the wrong way around, so maybe that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
What I don't understand is how they were working last night.
That's true.
But I'll do everything I can to make sure it matches, and I will probably have to disconnect and reconnect to verify it.
Yeah.
See what happens. Nope. I just don't have a Comanche in the listing, I guess.
But you can see.
Yes, I can see your label. See, beforehand I couldn't see labels either, so...
That's why I'm confused, because there's a default. If you look in the settings, it says what to show. If it can't find a model to
Yeah, it should be sending me like
and
an...
I think Learjet or something. But you should see that
Mhm.
at least.
Let's just type in Cessna 152 and make that appear.
Yeah. Oh, it's not showing me it's online.
Ah!
Is that? I am. I'm sure I am. Hang on, let me just double check.
Oh no, that's only for controllers. Don't worry about that.
Oh, is it? Right.
Tell you what we'll do. Let's completely close down. Let's completely close down X-Plane, disconnect from the network, restart it with the new path heading, and see what that does. I'm going to troubleshoot this stuff. I'll cut the stream, but we are going to, if you don't mind hanging around a little bit, we'll try and troubleshoot this.
Yeah.
Alright folks, well, thanks for the viewing. I'm going to cut the stream and get my plane sorted out, and then we'll do another leg some other day. Catch you all soon.